Howdy folks, it's Marshall with Fishing with Marshall here. Guys, today I'm bringing you an unboxing video of a package I just received from Xzone Lures. Guys, look at this. That's not a small box compared to my head. Look at that, and that thing is filled deep. Guys, let me get these all set out and I'll show you the goods. Alrighty guys, got everything organized here on my table in front of me. The first bait I want to show you guys is one from Xzone that I'm really excited to use. It is the Xzone Swammer in the 4-inch, and then I have the mini Swammer. It is a 3.5 inch. You know, 1/2 inch does make a difference to these fish, you know, especially in the summertime. Sometimes they want that little smaller bite. They don't want to have to fight and use as much energy to try and get the bigger bait. So I went with the same color in both sizes. They're proven colors that I know work and will go with a lot of things. So in the colors, I went with the chartreuse pearl, the bluegill, and one of Xzone's most famous colors, I would say, one that's been really good for them, the 309 colorway, in the 4-inch and the 3.5 inch. So what can this bait be used for? It is very versatile, guys. This bait can be used a ton of different ways. It can be used like any swim bait, you know, any soft-tailed swim bait, paddle-tail swim bait, excuse me. You can put it on a belly-weighted hook. Easy and simple, you know. Whether you have a small one for the 3.5 inch or a bigger belly-weighted hook for the 4-inch, you could even get the Mega Swammer, which I don't have currently. It's a 5-inch swim bait, and the action on these is just awesome, guys. Let me get one of these out in this 309 color right here, because I'm thinking this one right here is going to be the breadwinner. This 309 color is super nice. It imitates, I mean, it's a cool color, guys. You've got this white with a bunch of blue, very small flake in it that catches the light. When I turn this thing, I can just see it catching the light. And then on the top here, you've got a section of brown that has some black, purple, and what looks like copper flake in it. So this is the 4-inch right here, guys. As you can see, I mean, this tail's just got a lot of action. This bait is pretty soft, pretty flexible, gonna be very durable. All of the Xzone baits are crazy durable. You're gonna catch some fish on these things, and they're salty. When the bass bites this, they do not want to let go. As you can see, it does have these little ridges in it as well that help with the movement. That also helps create a little extra turbulence going through the water, coming off of there. Like I was saying, ways to use this bait, ways to rig it up: belly weighted hook. You can expose this. It's a little thing on this swim bait that I like more than a lot. Most are round throughout the bait. The top of this one is flat, so it will make it very easy to expose a hook and get a weedless presentation on this bait. I like that. I do fish around a lot of grass and stuff like that. Fishing through grass is my favorite way to fish. The bass are just always in the grass. Bass love grass, man. It's crazy. I love fishing grass. But anyways, you can throw this on a chatterbait trailer, 3.5 inch, perfect for that. The 4-inch, it worked too on some of the bigger chatterbaits, with a bigger hook on it. Your hooks, it is going to depend on your hook size. Chatterbaits, different brands chatterbaits use different sized hooks, different style hooks, so it's all dependent on that. Throw it on a swim jig, throw it on a buzz bait. On that buzz bait, you're going to get just that tail kicking the water behind that blade that's spinning. A lot of different ways to use this bait, guys. I'm really excited about this one. This is the one that I have been waiting for. But like I said, I got a couple of different sizes, and I just went with the same colors in both sizes, just keep it nice and simple. We'll move on to the next bait, guys. One bait that I already have. This is two baits that I already have, and I love. These are two of my favorite baits from Xzone. You got the new Xzone Adrenaline Craw right here. This one, I just wanted a different color. I wanted this one in the 309. This 309 is probably my favorite color besides Border Craw, made by Xzone. It imitates the crawdad. It can imitate the shad. Excuse me, guys, the shad with that lighter bottom color. But I got the 309. I got the Adrenaline Craw, and then I got the 4-inch Adrenaline Bug as well. Those baits are good on Texas rig, jig trailers. I mean, just about anything. If you have a bigger sized, what am I trying to think here? A bigger sized Ned head, you could throw that 4-inch Adrenaline Bug on one, or you could downsize. That brings us to our next bait here. I got the 3.5-inch Adrenaline Bug, 1/2 inch smaller, which is crazy because it's a 1/2 inch shorter, I should say, a lot smaller. Let me pull one out here for you guys and just show you the size difference in these two baits. So here you go. You have the 3.5 inch right here, and here you have a 4-inch. Not only are you getting the difference in the length, the body size. This right here is going to be for your more finesse applications. It's summertime. You do have to get a little bit finessey with these fish. They're lethargic. They, like I said, they may not want to work on this bait. They want to eat this smaller bait right here. This bait has floating appendages. Guys, these floating appendages on a Ned head right here, this thing is going to stand up in the water like this with these appendages in the air, and you're going to get a ton of movement just bouncing this along the bottom. These appendages float. That keeps that in the face of that fish just that much longer and just tempts them to bite that much more. So I did get these in a few different colors because, like I said, you do have to get a little bit finessey with these fish right now. It's just the way it is. Fishing has been slow. I went with the 309. I got a green pumpkin black flake, just a tried and true color, guys. It's nothing special. It's green pumpkin and black flake. And then I got the one that I showed you is a new color that I haven't tried at any bait. It's called Big Limit. You've got kind of your lighter green on top, and you've got that purple translucent bottom on it. So that is gonna be a big money bait right there in that Big Limit color. I'm excited to use that one as well. Then here's another one. This is another finesse style bait that's gonna be used on a Ned rig. I've really been trying to practice my finesse fishing. I can power fish all day, every day. This is Oklahoma. Power fishing is the name of the game. Flipping a jig, throwing a big spinnerbait, things like that. Chatterbait, you got your square bills or your crankbaits. This year I've really been working on finesse, on how the fish like to see these baits and finesse applications. How to work the bait is a very important factor also, and this is another finesse bait from Xzone. This is the Muscleback Finesse Craw. What you get with this over the bug is you get bigger claws. These claws float. Xzone's products, they float, guys. The floating claws do matter. This keeps that in the face of that fish that much longer. I'm telling you, it's amazing. I've caught more fish on these little craws just fishing. I've been fishing ponds mostly. Haven't done a bunch of lake fishing, but I've been fishing ponds with smaller baits in the summer, and I've just been catching a lot of fish. I haven't caught a ton of big ones or anything, but these little baits have just been getting in local ponds. They just been getting a lot of bites. So this one is in the 309 color. You got that blue translucent bottom, your green pumpkin top with some flake in it, and these floating claws. This one is going to, as you're bouncing it up and down through the water, these claws are going to give you a lot more movement, a lot more turbulence in the water. And sometimes the fish want something more turbulent. It's all about finding out what the fish want, guys. Can't catch fish if they don't want the bait, you know what I'm saying? So we've got the Xzone Muscleback Finesse Craw. It's a 3.25 inch bait meant for finesse applications. We'll move on here. This is a bait that I don't have from Xzone. This will be my first time trying it out, but it's not a bait that I'm new to. It's not a bait that anyone is new to. This is a tried and true bait, guys. And let me show you, I'll show you this color. This is a cool one. This is the 5-inch true center stick from Xzone in the watermelon pearl laminate. Really cool color right here, guys. Stick bait, your typical stick worm, guys. I mean, come on, everyone's, whether you've fished live bait, fished a worm, or you've just gone to your local bait shop or Walmart and just grabbed you a package of Zoom, you know, super salty worms or whatever, you know, this is a bait that everyone has used, man, just a stick worm. Guys, this is the 5-inch. Let me go over this real quick and then I will show you the 6-inch bait. This one is pretty skinny. It's pretty slender. I'm not sure if you can tell really well, but it's pretty slender. It's just your normal 5-inch stick bait here. This is the watermelon pearl laminate. White on bottom, you got your green. It's very bassy looking, you know. Bass do eat bass, so the smaller bass. This can be used on a Texas rig. Main thing about this is the Xzone, the wacky zone on this thing. So most stick baits have this area on the bait right here where it's kind of flat. There's really good ridges on this bait to get some turbulence in the water, but it's got this zone right here that most stick baits have, where you think you'd rig this up. You think it would be the center of the bait. The center of the bait is actually a little back, just a little bit further, since this side is heavier, this side's a little lighter. It is back a little further, so Xzone helps you out. They've got a little spot right here. You won't be able to see it on camera, but this is the actual center of the bait for if you're wacky rigging or Nico rigging this bait. It could also be used on a Texas rig. You could get you a smaller 3/4 EWG hook, and you can Texas rig this bait. Bass just like stick baits, man. A worm, it just gets it done, man. And that's whether you're using this worm, the stick bait, or you grab you some of the finesse or the the Xzone Blitz worm. It's an 11-inch ribbon tail worm. It works really good. What I've been doing to catch fish on that bait is I have been cutting it down a little bit on the other end, leaving the ribbon tail, but cutting the other end down and make that bait a little bit shorter. Make it like 7 to 8 inches, and it does work very well. That's a little trick that I figured out myself. Just cut it down a little bit shorter. No reason to go out there and buy another bait. Just buy the longest one and cut it down. Works the same. So I did get the 5-inch true center stick in some different colors. I went with the watermelon pearl laminate, like you saw. I went with the chartreuse and pearl color right here. Then we'll move on. You got your tried and true black and blue flake right here. And the last one is just a green pumpkin black flake. Green pumpkin black flake. So we'll move on. We got the 6-inch here now. The 6-inch, I'll pull this one out right here and show it to you guys. This is going to be I think this is going to be a real winner right here in this color right here. This is a color green pumpkin copper. If you can see that copper flake in that bait. Man, look at that thing. It's just it's a darker green pumpkin. I mean, it's almost brown. You can see the green to it, but this is a 6-inch. As you can see, it is a fatter bait. It is a lot thicker. Man, this thing is a lot thicker than the 5-inch. Only an inch longer, but it is thicker. Once again, they got the wacky zone right there where you can wacky rig that, Nico rig that. If I throw a wacky rig or a Nico rig, I do use an O-ring. I like an O-ring on my bait, not just hook the bait. With the O-ring, you do get a little more durability out of this bait. The action on this thing, it has got a lot of action to it, just holding it and feeling it. Pretty soft. These things are very durable. All Xzone's baits are very durable, guys. You will catch multiple fish on these baits. One cool little detail is on the little area right here that most worm baits have. They have their logo on it, and it's pretty cool. It's kind of a neat little detail. But that is the 6-inch. You know, not much to talk about. It's a stick bait. You could use a little bigger hook if you wanted to. If you wanted to Texas rig this one, you could use a little bit meatier of a hook. You could Texas rig it. It would work very good for a Texas rig. I think this one would work a little bit better than that one. You just have to get a smaller hook and get the right size hook. That's very important. But in the 6-inch, I went with different colors. I went with the red bug, of course the green pumpkin copper, like I showed you guys. Then I went with the watermelon candy. It's just a more of like a forest hunter green with green, purple, and like some red flake in it. Pretty typical color. A lot of companies make a like a bass candy style color. And then this one is summer craw. Very good color from Xzone. I love this color. You got your like chartreuse green and then a darker green with some black flake in it. Excuse me. Last but not least, this is a big one. Brandon Polinick has won. I don't remember what tournament he won on this bait, but he has won with this bait. He's done very good with this bait. Let me look it up. I just want to share this with you guys. This is a good one. I'm excited to use this one. I know it's one that Brandon endorses, and he loves this bait. It is a finesse style bait. It is meant to be used on a drop shot. There's really not much. I don't think you could probably Texas rig this. Drop shot or a shaky head, I should say. That's my bad. Drop shot or a shaky head would be what you would use this one for. Let me look here real quick. We'll take a look and see. Why can I not find this? Okay, here we go. Phone's running slow for some reason. Alrighty, let's see here. So yeah, you could use this bait on a Texas rig. You could use it on a shaky head. You could use it on a drop shot, like I said. Yeah, Brandon Polinick used this at Santee Cooper to win. This is the 6-inch Muscleback fat finesse worm. Let me show you. What color do we want to show you? I'll show you this one. This is the PB&J color. Very good looking color. Ooh, gotta get the packaging open. There we go. This one is, so you've got this fat tail back here. Slims up a little bit and then does get a little bit chunky. So yeah, you could Texas rig this bait. This is one I haven't used yet, guys, so I'll be learning to use this one, but it is a very, very successful bait. Like you can see that end of that is a little bit fatter. This does float. This is gonna float. So on a shaky head, this is gonna hit the bottom, and this is gonna stick up in the air like this, and that just helps keep that in that bass's face a little bit longer. So I do have it in the PBJ. I got it in the watermelon black flake, watermelon pearl laminate, and then a green pumpkin with black flake. So I just went with, you know, very simple colors to use in this bait. Like I said, guys, I needed to place an order. I needed a bunch more stuff from them to try out. You know, when I first joined Xzone, I did order some stuff. I didn't order enough. I ordered mostly creature style stuff because at the time that's what the fish were biting, and so I've been kind of left out to dry. I haven't had a bunch of these baits to use with all the fishing I've been doing. So I'll be bringing some videos later on of these baits in action. I want to get some nice shots for you guys in some clear water on the action of these baits. I want to get these baits on a hook in front of a camera in clear water and just show you guys the action of each bait. I love these Xzone lures, guys. The floating claws, the floating worms and everything. There's other baits that float. There's not many, but the floating does matter. It keeps it in that fish's face a little bit longer, and it's gonna help you get more bites, guys. So with that, I'm gonna wrap this video up, guys. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. Consider subscribing to the channel. I will be bringing some fishing content here before long, guys. I know that that's the main thing of a fishing channel. You gotta fish, you know. So I will be bringing you guys some fishing videos. It's just been a little tough here lately, but it'll be coming. Leave a like, subscribe, turn that notification bell on, guys, and we'll see you later.